respect that.
We don't agree with it.
Yeah. We don't agree with it, we'll take it. Because one of the things for us is, we have our burden to prove our case, but part of our burden, is, this is the person who the police questioned, is Zenaida Gonzales here. And if we're able to prove who actually had the child, that's part of our case as well. That's part of our duty as well. And that's why I was asking that question, never to be offensive, but that there could be someone else out there.
In all due respect, you're not going to find that answer from me. I would have kicked that door down a long time ago myself.
Thank you.
That's as blunt as I can say. If I ever had any indication on whoever had Caylee, anybody, the President of the United States down, all I needed was a name, I would have kicked.
Well, obviously, the first place people would look are parents.
Yeah. And
there's a mom, and there's a dad, and obviously there's a mom and a dad. So that's why. So and you've been instructed not to answer, and we understand. Now, it's your understanding that the last day that Caylee was at your parents' house was on June 15th?
That is my understanding. Or the morning of the 16th, whichever that Monday was. I'm pretty sure Monday was June 16th. So she would have left, I believe, my father remembers it was by noon, so that's always the information I go off of.
When was the last time you ever saw your niece?
It would have been the week of my mom's birthday, so the first week of June. Probably around the 6th or so.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah, I actually have, off the record for just a second. I have
Time is...
I just have somewhere to be at 10:30, so I don't know how much longer you have a lot longer to go.
Time is 9:43. We're back on record.
So the last time that you saw Caylee was the week of the first week in June.
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, the last time Caylee was at that home was either Monday the 16th or the day before the 15th?
Monday the 16th.
Were your parents at the house those days?
My father was at the house on the 16th in the morning, and that's, again, what he has said. And my mother and Caylee were the ones that went to see my grandfather on the 15th. Casey did not go. I believe my dad was home on that day too, or was working or something.
From the June 15th till July 15th, were your mom and dad staying the night at that house?
Yes, to my knowledge.
So they were there the whole time?
To my knowledge, yes.
So when Caylee didn't come home, they knew that?
Yes.
And when Casey didn't come home, they knew that?
Yes.
Because Caylee had her own bed in her own bedroom?
Exactly.
Okay, so there's a month where, did Casey come home at all to your knowledge during that month?
My dad claims that she did one day. I want to say it was about a week after, maybe around the 22nd or 23rd or so. He said that she came home for a short period of time, and I know through other folks that she had been to the house, like when my folks weren't there, like during the day or something like that. with like she came there with Tony Lazzaro.
During this month that was going on, did you have conversation with your mom and dad about they're not showing up? We don't know where Caylee is.
I never had heard from it at all.
The whole month.
Nope. Again, living at a different residence. Actually, that time was very busy for me with work, traveling, and things of that nature. So.
During that time, you said you never heard about it. Okay. Since that time, have you ever, now that you've talked to your parents, have you ever said, were you worried? Did you wonder where she was? Were you looking for her during that month?
Oh, sure. I mean, we've had that conversation plenty of times, and yes, they were worried. My mom claims that she talked to Casey every day, if not every day, pretty darn close to it. So, and was always told that, they're coming home the next day, or they're coming home, a couple days thereafter, or whatever. So she was always appeasing my mom to get to the next day or whatever.
So your mom told you that they were speaking every day?
Yes.
Now,
or texting at minimum. Yeah.
During this month period, I want to ask you about a time that you may have gone out looking for Casey. During this month period.
Caylee?
No, Casey.
Casey?
Let me ask the question. And between the month of June 15th and July 15th, let's use that window, that month window. Isn't it true that there came a time that you went out looking for Casey, and that you in fact learned that she was downtown at a bar downtown, and let me get this out, and you went to that bar to see her?
I'm going to object again. I'm going to certify as irrelevant. This has nothing to do with the defamation case.
Well, I'm going to have to say it has everything to do with the defamation case, because if we can prove who had something to do with the disappearance of Caylee Anthony, that exonerates our client, and it makes it the fact that she could not have been the person that took the child.
Okay, well, first of all, this case is a defamation suit is in fact, first of all, that you have to prove that there was, in fact, as I understand it, the elements just have to do with making a public statement which causes harm.
Correct.
So what does the fact that, other than the statements that Miss Anthony made or that someone else made in regards to Miss Gonzales, what does this line of questioning have to do with that?
Because if Zenaida Gonzales did not abduct and kill this child and someone else did, it has direct bearing on this case.
Actually, it does not.
Sure, truth or falsity is the centerpiece of any defamation case. Falsity comes about by proving someone else did it, she didn't. If you want to instruct them not to answer, go ahead. I will warn you. If you do, we're going to come back, and we're going to see fees and costs for having to come back, because it's our position that objection is not well founded. You do what you got to do. I just want to, as a gentleman, give you the heads up.
I understand, and like I said, I mean, if it has to do with falsity, what you're saying is that...
We don't need to discuss it honestly, because we're all trying to get
I wanted to get it done.
And we are going to be seeking fees and costs if we have to go over there, because this is very, very relevant.
I disagree.
Are you still instructing him? May he answer?
By the way, relevance is not a grounds to instruct someone not to answer.
Correct.
Clear under the rules. But anyhow, take a position. Let's move forward.
Can he answer that?
There's something I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
If he wants to answer,
Go ahead.
Go ahead and answer then.
First, actually, I do need to correct. My mother did tell me of that Casey and Caylee hadn't been home. She called me on July 3rd. She called me probably about 8 o'clock at night. I totally forgot about that.
And that is when you decided to go looking for her.
I started looking online, figured out she was supposed to be at a party and all that stuff. Now, I'm not getting completely into that. There's something that I want to say that isn't related to a direct line of questioning.